Welcome to Frema Language, your daily place to learn practical and natural English. In this video, you'll learn daily English words used in real life, the kind of words native speakers use every day. This is important because learning common, useful words helps you speak more naturally and confidently in conversations, not just in theory. By watching this video, you'll improve your vocabulary, understand how to use words correctly, and sound more fluent in everyday situations. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share with others who want to speak English naturally. Let's get started. Let's start with the first word, wake up. Wake up means to stop sleeping and become conscious again. It is a very common phrasal verb used in daily life when talking about your morning routine or when someone stops sleeping at any time of the day. You can use it in both casual and everyday conversations, especially when describing habits, schedules, or daily activities. You can use wake up when you stop sleeping naturally or when something causes you to stop sleeping. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I wake up early every day, or she wakes up at 7 a.m. in the past tense. You might say, I woke up late today, or they woke up suddenly. For the future, you can say, I will wake up early tomorrow, or we will wake up before sunrise. It is often used with time expressions, like, wake up at 6 inches or wake up early. Using wake up correctly helps you talk about your daily routine more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, I just woke up, which you can use when you have recently stopped sleeping. Let's continue with the second word, get ready. Get ready means to prepare yourself for something, such as going out, starting your day, or doing an activity. It is a very common phrase used in daily life when talking about routines, plans, or upcoming events. You can use it in both casual and everyday conversations when you want to describe preparing physically or mentally for something. You can use get ready when you prepare for an action or event. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I get ready for work every morning, or she gets ready quickly. In the past tense, you might say, I got ready in a hurry, or they got ready for the meeting. For the future, you can say, I will get ready soon, or we will get ready before leaving. It is often followed by for plus something, like get ready for school or get ready for a trip. Using get ready correctly helps you describe your daily routine more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, get ready, which you can use when telling someone to prepare for something. Let's continue with the third word, leave. Leave means to go away from a place or to move from one location to another. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about going out, traveling, or ending your time in a place. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when describing departure, whether it is from home, work, or any location. You can use leave when you are going away from somewhere. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I leave home at 8 a.m., or she leaves the office early. In the past tense, you might say, I left the house late, or they left the meeting early. For the future, you can say, I will leave soon, or we will leave after dinner. It is often used with time or place, like leave at 9 or leave the building. Using leave correctly helps you talk about movement and schedules more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, I have to leave, which you can use when you need to go away from a place. Let's continue with the fourth word, arrive. Arrive means to reach a place or get to a destination after traveling. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about coming to a location, such as home, work, school, or an event. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when describing when or where someone reaches a place. You can use arrive when you get to a place. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I arrive at work on time, or she arrives early. In the past tense, you might say, I arrived late yesterday, or they arrived at the airport. For the future, you can say, I will arrive soon, or we will arrive in the evening. It is often used with that for specific places and in for cities or countries, like arrive at the station or arrive in Dubai. Using arrive correctly helps you talk about time and the location more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, I have arrived, which you can use to tell someone that you have reached your destination. Let's continue with the fifth word, start. Start means to begin something or to make something begin. It is a very common and important word used in daily life when talking about actions, activities, plans, or routines. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when you want to describe the beginning of something, such as work, a task, a journey, or a conversation. You can use start when something begins or when you begin doing something. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I start my day early, or she starts her work at 9 a.m. in the past tense. You might say, I started a new project, or they started the meeting on time. For the future, you can say, I will start tomorrow, or we will start the class soon. It is often followed by a noun or to plus verb, like start a task or start to learn. Using start correctly helps you talk about beginnings and actions more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, let's start, which you can use to begin an activity or encourage others to begin. Let's continue with the sixth word, finish. Finish means to complete something or bring it to an end after you have started it. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about tasks, work, studies, or activities. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when you want to show that something is done or fully completed. You can use finish when you complete an action or task. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I finished my work in the evening, or she finished her homework on time. In the past tense, you might say, I finished the project yesterday, or they finished the task early. For the future, you can say, I will finish this soon, or we will finish the work tomorrow. It is often followed by a noun or a verb with ing, like finish the job or finish doing something. Using finish correctly helps you clearly express completion and results. A very common and useful sentence is, I'm finished, which you can use to say that you have completed something. Let's continue with the seventh word, eat. Eat means to have food or to take food into your body. It is one of the most basic and commonly used words in English, especially in daily conversations about meals, routines, and habits. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when talking about food and eating activities. You can use eat when you are having a meal or consuming food. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I eat breakfast every morning, or she eats healthy food. In the past tense, you might say, I ate lunch at noon, or they ate together. For the future, you can say, I will eat later, or we will eat at a restaurant. It is often used with meals like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, such as eat dinner or eat snacks. Using eat correctly helps you talk about daily routines more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, let's eat, which you can use to invite others to have a meal. Let's continue with the eighth word, drink. Drink means to take liquid into your body, such as water, juice, tea, or coffee. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about habits, health, and meals. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when referring to consuming any kind of liquid. You can use drink when you are taking in liquids. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I drink water every day, or she drinks coffee in the morning. In the past tense, you might say, I drank juice earlier, or they drank tea together. For the future, you can say, I will drink more water, or we will drink something after the meal. It is often used with types of beverages like drink water or drink tea. Using drink correctly helps you talk about your daily habits more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, do you want something to drink? Which you can use when offering a beverage to someone. Let's continue with the ninth word, work. Work means to do a job or perform tasks, usually as part of your responsibilities or to earn money. It is a very common and important word used in daily life when talking about jobs, duties, and activities. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when describing what you do regularly or professionally. You can use work when you are doing your job or completing tasks. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I work every day, or she works in an office. In the past tense, you might say, I worked late yesterday, or they worked on the project. For the future, you can say, I will work tomorrow, or we will work together. It is often used with places or tasks, like work at a company or work on a project. Using work correctly helps you talk about your responsibilities and routine more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, I'm at work, which you can use to tell someone that you are currently doing your job. Let's continue with the 10th word, study. Study means to learn something by reading, practicing, or focusing your attention. It is a very important word used in daily life when talking about education, learning new skills, or improving knowledge. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when describing learning activities, whether at school, home, or work. You can use study when you are learning or trying to understand something. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I study English every day, or she studies for her exams. In the past tense, you might say, I studied all night, or they studied together. For the future, you can say, I will study later, or we will study for the test tomorrow. It is often used with subjects or goals, like study English or study for an exam. Using study correctly helps you talk about learning and improvement more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, I need to study, which you can use when you want to focus on learning something. Let's continue with the 11th word, buy. Buy means to get something by paying money for it. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about shopping, needs, and purchases. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when describing getting items like food, clothes, or anything you need. You can use buy when you purchase something. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I buy groceries every week, or she buys new clothes often. In the past tense, you might say, I bought a new phone, or they bought some food. For the future, you can say, I will buy this later, or we will buy everything we need. It is often used with objects, like buy food or buy a gift. Using buy correctly helps you talk about shopping and daily needs more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, I want to buy this, which you can use when choosing something to purchase. Let's continue with the 12th word, call. Call means to phone someone or contact them using a telephone. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about communication with friends, family, or work. You can use it in both casual and formal situations when you want to speak to someone or reach them by phone. You can use call when you contact someone by phone. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I call my friend every day, or she calls her family in the evening. In the past tense, you might say, I called you yesterday, or they called the manager. For the future, you can say, I will call you later, or we will call them tomorrow. It is often followed by a person, like, call my friend or call the office. Using call correctly helps you talk about communication more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, I'll call you, which you can use to tell someone you will contact them soon. Let's continue with the 13th word, watch. Watch means to look at something carefully for a period of time, especially things like TV, movies, or videos. It is a very common word used in daily life when talking about entertainment and activities you do in your free time. You can use it in both casual and everyday conversations when describing how you spend your time. You can use watch when you are looking at something with attention. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I watch TV every evening, or she watches movies on weekends. In the past tense, you might say, I watched a film last night, or they watched the game together. For the future, you can say, I will watch this later, or we will watch a new series. It is often used with things like TV, movies, shows, or videos, such as watch TV or watch a movie. Using watch correctly helps you talk about your free time and habits more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, let's watch something, which you can use when suggesting an activity. Let's continue with the 14th word, sleep. Sleep means to rest your body and mind by closing your eyes, usually at night. It is a very common and important word used in daily life when talking about health, routines, and rest. You can use it in both casual and everyday conversations when describing how long or how well you rest. You can use sleep when you are resting or talking about rest. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I sleep early every night, or she sleeps for 8 hours. In the past tense, you might say, I slept well last night, or they slept late. For the future, you can say, I will sleep soon, or we will sleep after the trip. It is often used with time expressions, like sleep at 10 or sleep for 8 hours. Using sleep correctly helps you talk about your daily routine and health more clearly. A very common and useful sentence is, I need to sleep, which you can use when you feel tired and need rest. Let's continue with the 15th word, relax. Relax means to rest and feel calm, especially after doing something tiring or stressful. It is a very useful word used in daily life when talking about taking a break, reducing stress, or enjoying free time. You can use it in both casual and everyday conversations when describing how you rest your body and mind. You can use relax when you stop working or worrying and take time to feel comfortable. For example, in the present tense, you can say, I relax after work, or she relaxes by listening to music. In the past tense, you might say, I relaxed at home, or they relax after the trip. For the future, you can say, I will relax this evening, or we will relax on the weekend. It is often used with activities like music or quiet time, such as relax with music or relax at home. Using relax correctly helps you talk about rest and well-being more naturally. A very common and useful sentence is, just relax, which you can use to tell someone to stay calm and not worrying.